Hey everybody, it's Gurmy's Coaster Yard here, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit differently. I'm taking a bit of a break from No Limits 2 for now. I'll upload more of that soon, but I've been really itching to get back into some Roller Coaster Tycoon, and so I've actually started this project off camera, but I wanted to show you what I've been working on. So this is called Oakmont Park, and yeah, it's just a new park I started. I thought I'd show you what I have so far. Uh, Leave it open for your suggestions, what you guys think I should add. And yeah, let's get started. So to start, we have our main entrance area. Over here, sort of the restroom area. You can see down in here a couple of restrooms. This is the front gate to the park, by the way, if it wasn't obvious. So here's sort of the ticket window where you would go to get tickets if you don't have them already. Um, Here is the main entrance where you would get your security checked by the security guards here. They're all kind of running in place, so it's kind of weird, but I like the idea of having them there. What else is there? On the other side of this building is a little guest relations area, and you can see the information desk in there. So, what else do we have? I also included your classic Vekoma Boomerang. I couldn't leave one of those out. I was going for a bit of a Kings Island kind of feel on, having a Vekoma Boomerang right by the entrance. Except, of course, it's on the opposite side, and it's a normal boomerang, not an inverted boomerang. But I think the Cobra roll looks kind of nice right there by the entrance. It's a nice sort of effect. So that wasn't the first thing I put in. Neither was the entrance. The first thing I built, actually, after I did all the terrain work, the first thing I put in the park was this roller coaster over here. Still unnamed. It's still called Wooden Coaster 1. So if you have a name for the coaster, suggest it in the comments. I'd wait to make your suggestion until after I show you the coaster. That way, you guys can see the coaster and come up with a fitting name. But I trust you guys. So, all two of you who will probably comment, that is. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to make sort of a terrain-based coaster. I enjoy doing terrain-based wooden coasters, but this one I didn't want to be as crazy as some of the things I've done in the past. I just wanted it to be a simple roller coaster. So it comes up here. Here. I'll put it in test mode, that way we can go right into the action. We don't have to wait on it. It's nothing too spectacular, but I thought I had a nice view. So it comes down here and goes over some of these various bunny hills, and then not too far, and then it has a turnaround right here where it goes back. So the first half of it is sort of out and back. I mean, the whole thing is basically an out and back coaster, but it just doesn't go right to the very end of the ride when it gets back. It goes around a little bit more. So there's sort of two halves to the ride, which I think is kind of nice to break it up, and each half is slightly different. This one's a little more twisty and turny, but it still has some small hills and such. And I might change this up a bit because I'm not super pleased with the last half. It's maybe something else you can suggest if you have any ideas for the last half. But yeah, pretty simple. I haven't built a station yet. I do have some flat rides around here. This will become a nicer, more developed Midway in the end. Over here I have another restroom building. This, when you may have caught a glimpse of it already, is the observation tower I built, custom made. You could do the observation ride, but that's no fun. It's fun to build things and be creative. Always be creative. This, as you might recognize, resembles the Eiffel Towers at King's Dominion and King's Island. That's actually because this was originally an Eiffel Tower model that I built. I don't think I built it for the sake of having a Kings Island park. Actually, I built it for a satire video, now that I think about it, but I also made it available to the public. Anyway, I modified it to look like a tree. We're in Oakmont Park, so I figured maybe make some stuff oak tree themed. Even down here we have our Oak Slinger. I thought that was a kind of funny name for the chair swing down here. And this is, as you can see, Oak Tree Tower. If the sign will come back, yeah, Oak Tree Tower. So there's a lower observation deck and the much nicer and better view upper observation deck. We can actually take a look really quick as to what the guests might see. So yeah, when the park is done, it'll be a lot nicer of a view. But as of right now, I think it's still pretty cool. And yeah. So what else do we have? Over here, we have our PNM Invert. This I'm pretty proud of. It's very similar to Raptor in the beginning. How it sort of curves into its first drop, goes through a loop, and then a 0G roll, and the Cobra roll. After that, it sort of breaks up a bit, especially after the mid-course brake run. This is called Sky Flyer, by the way. And I'm also pretty happy with how this turned out. I sort of made it, I don't know exactly what the theme is, but I sort of went with like a military air base type theme. So you can see the big sort of Quonset hut for the station. And one thing I was really happy about was I was able to incorporate the station, part of the station, as a gift shop area. So they get off the ride and have to go through here, the gift shop, to see their pictures and buy a t-shirt or a souvenir water bottle or something before they exit the ride. And the queue is sort of themed again around this. It has this aviation theme. You can see the big hangar right there. I thought it would be interesting to sort of include these like tents out front. Like they're supposed to resemble like those canvas tents you might see. It's not a perfect resemblance, but I might change that too. And of course, your flight control tower, air traffic control, I should say. We have a drop tower over here, and that's about it for all of this. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys this. This is a concert hall where you guys can see karaoke if you want. Well, you can't, but the peeps can. Next, we have another Midway back here. A lot of garbage. I need to put in some garbage cans. But it's got a restaurant, your classic lineup of carnival games. Obviously, you don't have games in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, but I thought that kind of resembled something, and it's fun to put stuff in and be creative, like I said. So putting stuff like this in, even though you can't actually have games, it really helps complete the look of your Midway, in my opinion. So, and the other reason I put these in here was to sort of as cover all this area with these supports. So from this Midway, you can't really see those for the invert. I just thought it kind of looked nice. It also was another thing based off of Raptor in a way. If you ever, like at the bottom of the drop of Raptor, you can't really see that super well from the main Midway, just because there's like a restaurant or a food stall or whatever in the way. I don't remember exactly what's there. It was a sort of classic wooden coaster with a twister layout, and it's called the Jackrabbit. Pretty straightforward, as you can see. We don't need to go too into detail. Next, over here is, I went with the sort of Schwarzkopf Wildcat model, or that kind of deal. I called it Bobcat because it's not exactly like, but I wanted that feel to the ride. A family coaster that has that's not super fast, but it's got a lot of fun twists and turns and small bunny hills and whatnot. So we'll give that a test, and you guys can take a look at it. One thing I thought was kind of funny is if you come over here and go down to the junior coaster, because that's what this is in the game. A gentle roller coaster for people who haven't yet got the courage to face the larger rides, and I sort of made a larger ride out of it. Not entirely, but for a small kid, that's a pretty big first drop, I would say. I mean, I know if I was a kid, that would probably scare me to death. I remember when I was a kid, we took a trip to Kings Island, and we did. It's called Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown now, but back then it was the Wild Thornberries themed log ride, and I remember crying and crying and crying and not wanting to ride that. And that first drop, not the first drop, the big drop though, was, I remember it being terrifying, but in the end I ended up really enjoying it. So, just a fun story that kind of relates to children and riding amusement park rides, I suppose. So yeah, nothing too crazy there, but a fun little ride. And the thing I've been skipping past for a while now, and I'm not super proud with this, but I wanted to include a boat ride for the kids. So I ended up going with a raft ride, and we can put this in test mode as well. Oh, I guess there's actually people on it. We will leave it open. Anyway, so I called it, as you can see, Dino River Adventure. Sort of themed after the Jurassic Park lineup, but a lot less intense, more oriented for the little kids, and the families, and the people who want to cool off after a hot day. This is really the only ride we can do that here in the park. So as you can see, it sort of travels past these various dinosaurs, and so on and so forth. And it's pretty exciting. I think it would be somewhat intensely scary for a young kid, just because I included, well, you'll see in a minute what I included. You may have seen it earlier, actually. But exciting finale to the ride, we'll just say. Over here, I thought it would be fun if maybe like the ride's finale was, oh, you're going into this forbidden temple type of thing, and you can see all this stuff starting to swing. I don't think this would be entirely safe. It sort of goes through the side of the track and stuff, but anyway. And then here's the big finale, all these T-Rexes that come out of nowhere. So that would certainly be kind of scary to see a T-Rex roaring at you. And here, if we can get to it, there's another one inside. So a second scare. And you come into this building and do a nice small drop to the big finale. And yeah, so that's everything I have to show you right now. Yeah, so this is Oakmont Park, and I'm pretty happy with how it's going so far. It's not going to be my best park, but I want to uphold it to the level of detail and quality that I uphold my other parks to. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm happy to consider any of them. I'm an open-minded person. Until then, I will see you guys next time. So, have a great day.